evening, Keepers of the Cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and joining me as every Thursday, my good buddy Digger Jim in the co-hosting seat. Jim, how you doing tonight, sir?
I am doing fantastic. We got the weekend. I actually left work early and got the weekend started early. I am super excited this weekend. Going to see a little. I think gonna go see the new Captain America. So.
Oh, is that out this weekend?
Yeah, it starts tomorrow. So I figured, you know what? I'm off on Fridays. Let's go check it out.
Oh, I'm feeling sick suddenly. Damn.
And that's the advantage of working 410s. You'd be out off on Friday. You can catch those matinees before everybody gets in there.
Yeah, because we know your bosses won't watch us, Steve.
No, none of them do. They're not into this crap.
And of course, I had my other co-host joining us as an extra co-host this evening. We have Steve the Voice White. Steve, how you doing, bud?
G'day, eh? Buried in snow. That's where I am today. Buried in snow.
It's funny you said g'day, eh? Because I just started watching Strange Brew again the other night. I haven't seen that movie in years.
Take off, eh?
Right?
Yeah.
Hoser. And of course, our guest of the hour, Nauman calls him the 1011 superstar. It is, of course, Mr. Mark Andrews. Mark, how are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing very, very well. Gary, thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. And a great theme tonight, Star Trek, a beloved cultural phenomenon since the early 60s, right?
Yep. I'm feeling some pressure because, man, this is a big thing. Like Star Trek, if I mess this up, like I will have haters hate me forever.
Right? It's a strong fandom.
Oh my Lord, is it ever?
Fanatics, you'd almost call them.
You remember, it's live long and prosper tonight, not may the force be with you.
Be with you.
The needs of the many.
Get it straight.
Right.
Get it right.
That's right.
And of course, and before we start, just talking about that, who wasn't doing this as a kid, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was doing this as a kid.
Wrong show, Steve.
Shit, wrong thing. He stole that from Star Trek.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Well, let's go say hi to our chat real quick, and then we'll come back to Mark. Of course, we have Joe stopping in before he goes out with his wife tonight.
Joe,
Joe, hope you have a good dinner or whatever.
We'll look forward to you on the rewind. We have, of course, James Las Cruces. Good evening, sir. Nice to see you, buddy.
From New Mexico.
All-time favorite people, Jerry the Jitterbug.
Jerry.
We have Paul from Psychedelic Comics. Good evening, Paul. We have John from John's Comics for Kids. Good evening, sir. I inadvertently got rid of a couple kids there when I said kid.
Got rid of a couple.
Saying hi to everyone. Steve saying hi to everyone. Paul absolutely does have to come on one day. We have Mr. Chris Bigger. Thank you for listening to us on your drive, sir.
Mr. Bigger.
We have Mr. Comic Journey, CJ himself. Good evening, CJ. Great to see you, buddy. And hope to watch the Cat movie tomorrow. Nice, Paul. Yeah. Anthony Mackie is a good dude. And of course, we have Mr. Gore Vidal. The search for he's already trolling me.
Yep.
I know. I'm gonna have to put Gore in timeout. He's been pretty naughty lately.
Did you catch Boar? Brad's there.
Yep, Brad's there.
And of course, we don't want to forget Brad. How you doing tonight, sir? Hopefully, you're not having to clear the banks out like Steve and Mark are having to do at their places, so they can see to get out of their driveways.
Oh, Alberta laughs at us.
Yeah,
they think our snow is a joke.
They get real snow.
Yeah. You go to the prairies, man. You want to see winter?
That is not true at all, Brad.
No, you're not, Brad. Never.
Right?
So not with an oily face like yours.
We're going to bring it back to Mr. Mark Andrews. He says he has a hell of a show and a lot of stuff tonight. He's brought as much stuff as he's forgotten, and so we're going to get right to it.
Feeling a little bit of pressure here, Gary. You just feeling a little bit of pressure. I mean, come on. What music was that?
Under Pressure.
Under Pressure.
He was doing Queen.
So 1966, Desilu Studios takes a huge gamble. So, and it's really interesting. Lucille Ball doesn't get the credit she should.
Yeah.
She was the head of the studio. She'd bought Desi out by then, and she was the head of the studio of Desilu, and she went listened to Gene Roddenberry and what they had to say, and she took a gamble on the show. And we got Star Trek because of Lucille Ball, because she's the one who greenlit the whole thing, and it really never looked back. What's interesting, it went from 66 to 69, and 67, Desilu sold out to Paramount. Then Paramount is the ones who made the decision after 3 seasons to scrap it and cancel it, and immediately went like, I think we may have made a mistake.
Yeah, you did. A big boo-boo.
Big boo-boo. And Star Trek has been with us ever since. So when it came out in 66, I wasn't very old. But for the next 2 seasons, I was like, I'm 4 years old in 66, but 5 and 6 for the last 2 seasons. I'm the youngest of 5 kids. Guess what I watched?
That was your show.
I couldn't control the dials back then.
Right.
Right. So I watched, Star Trek.
They watched.
I watched what they watched, and it had a huge impression on me. And I'm going to talk about that later with my story. So as soon as Star Trek got canceled, things started to happen. So
reruns.
They were immediately picked up and went on reruns. Cartoons. And you start to saw, and sadly they didn't keep them in order, so they bounced the shows all over.
I know, it was all over.
The good thing is there was very few 2-parters, and they didn't mess about that. Absolutely, Brad. Shout out to Vulcan, Alberta, where Leonard Nimoy actually went to, and it was very cool. So one of the first things that I'm going to show is Gold Key Comics. Right, this is issue number 2.
Oof.
Nice.
There you go.
So the first about 9 issues of Gold Key are all picture covers, and the back of them not cheap, and the back of them have pinups as well. A little bit tricky to get, and I think I've shown this one before. This is issue number 8. It's one of my favorite issues because it's about the only one really that has the entire cast on there.
Yeah, that's a cool one. All standing on the transporter pad.
This one has the entire cast on here, which is. There's not many that have them all there, like Nurse Chapel in the back, and Scotty and Uhura and Chekhov, and everybody's there, right?
Bones.
So that is one of my favorite ones. And then after 9 issues, they started going into these kind of painted cover stuff.
Yeah.
What's interesting, it went for
how many issues did that thing? In Gold Key, did they have the Whitman variants too?
Yeah, it went for 61 issues.
Wow.
Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah, so it went for a long time. Like, what's interesting is 61 issues is nothing compared to what we're going to start
Walt
to get
Disney
into.
And that, yeah.
So during this with Gold Key, and because it's really hard to get some of those issues. Gold Key kind of came up with one of the first omnibuses, and they came out with 4 of these.
Oh wow! Nice. I didn't even know those existed.
So
those are expensive too.
This one is actually, Gary, they're not that expensive because a lot of people don't know about them until they, like the millions that watch your show, and now the prices will all go up.
Oh yeah, because everyone's like me on Comic Shop right now looking.
Right now. So there's 4 of these. This one takes in issues 1 to 9, I think it is, or 1 to 8. Okay, so they're not black and white. These are color.
I was getting ready to ask, are they color?
Oh, yeah, so they're color.
Wow.
Crap,
and they're just reprint. They're the Gold Key reprints. There's nothing changed to them or anything. What's kind of cool is this one has like Captain Kirk's biography on it, all the stuff he's won and all that kind of stuff, all of his awards and whatnot, and then it just starts out issue 1 through to issue 8.
Now, did you read the series?
Yeah.
How would you rate it story wise? Like being true to Trek, did you feel like it was Trek?
It was Trek, but it was watered down Gold Key Trek. If that makes any sense to you at all. Like the storylines are pretty simple, did they do groundbreaking stuff? Not really. They some of the later on with some Star Trek comics, there's some real groundbreaking stuff. But if you were a Trek fan, that's what you had is Gold Key Comics. If you wanted to keep alive, right?
And CJ had a question for you. In those omnibuses, are they like facsimiles? Do they have the original advertisements in them?
No, they just go from issue to issue.
So it's just the story, just the story.
It's just the story.
Oh, it didn't have any ads or anything.
So there's no ads. It just goes to the next story.
I'm fine with that.
I don't mind that.
No,
Yeah,
and so
okay
it's
with
not
that.
like they've taken the book and tried to cram and press them into a this. They removed all the ads. This is the second one. So there's 4 of these.
Ooh, that looks very
the Enterprise
psychedelic.
logs.
Yeah, they're pretty cool books. Sadly, the issues 3 and 4 are hard to find. And I don't know why, but this one is easier to find than number 1. But you can find them, and just if you keep your eyes open, you're gonna find them.
So was it like a bunch of one shots in the stories? Did they try to do it in like 1 or 2 issues, or
like each Gold Key comic was a story?
right?
Okay, so yeah.
So
if you missed one,
if you
you're
missed,
left on
it's not like the serialized Marvels and DCs that if you
That's
missed
what
an
I was.
issue,
Yeah.
right.
So,
they were one shot and done, one and done.
Right.
Comics and stories, which was really, really cool. So when Gold Key kind of finished, we were waiting, right? We're kind of waiting for stuff to happen. And so, people started going, well, Star Trek's pretty cool. There's lots of reruns. They're in, everybody's kind of looking at them. And someone from a little business called Mego, back in 1974 said
really cool one things.
Maybe we should do something. So they came out with
those things are wicked. Utility belts. You got the belts and the phaser and the communicator and all that. Oh, yep.
Wait, there we go.
Red shirt.
These 5
the
these are the original 5 Megos.
And the Klingon, yeah.
And the Klingon.
Oh, no Uhura, huh?
Yes.
Yes, they did have
Uhura.
Oh, okay.
So these are all the original Megos. Now we know that Diamond Direct came out with a bunch of these again, right? And you can buy them easy. But so if anyone is looking and you get one of these loose, unlike the G.I. Joes, you don't have to pull their pants down to look at their arse. It's actually, it's hard to see, but it's right on the back of the neck. Will tell you where the head's from. And right on the body, it will say Mego from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
If it doesn't say Hong Kong on here, that is not an original Mego.
Oh.
And if the head doesn't have the date on it, it's not an original Mego. It is the Diamond Direct ones that came out many years later.
So was there a lizard? Because Paul's saying, what about the lizard, Mark?
No, there wasn't a lizard until Diamond did.
The Klingon was the only alien they had.
Yeah,
now, do us a favor. And while you're talking about them, just hold each one up to the screen a little closer so everyone gets a good look at them.
Okay, so this is
the Khan.
That's
the Klingon.
The Klingon. Right?
It's got like the Planet of the Apes outfit.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that.
This is Scotty.
Yep. He's got his communicator and his phaser. Excellent.
Man, these guys look brand new.
I know the belts are in good shape. That communicator is so tiny. That's the first thing that gets lost.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Because it slides out of that belt.
Dr. McCoy.
That's the one that I had. My parents got us those, and then my brother stole it on me because he needed
Brothers
it for
are such
collection.
pain in the asses.
I know. Like they didn't get him once. They took mine.
That's Spock.
Yep. Now, didn't he have a tricorder that went over his shoulder too?
And sadly, I do not have all of
the accessories.
The accessories anymore. And no, Scotty, the sad thing is Scotty is not accurate. He's not missing a finger. He should be. James Doohan was missing a finger. Side note real quick, James Doohan, Scotty he's passed. A Canadian boy, and he landed on D-Day on Juno Beach with the Canadian Armed Forces and lost a finger and was wounded 3 or 4 times and still kept fighting.
Wow.
So his missing finger he always did.
Red shirt. He's the unkillable red shirt.
So, and there's Captain Kirk, who's just not a very, good moral compass. And then Uhura was introduced the next year. They realized that we may have made a mistake and not have included her, but they did not include Sulu or Chekhov.
I know they needed the whole bridge crew, right?
Yeah, they didn't. And she still has her tricorder.
Yeah.
Like, and again,
they
should have did the whole key cast.
They should have. They
Yeah.
should have done the whole key cast.
Yep. And then even
I don't know, Gary, if I'm going to be able to. Actually, it might be easier on if you can just see it. I don't know if you can see the lettering on his neck. Just it's really.
I can see something, but
yeah.
I can't.
So look up here on the neck, and then on the back, it's all raised lettering. It's not It's not pressed in.
Here's a black Sharpie. You can make it clear.
Yeah.
Or soapstone. Soapstone will actually work, and that'll come on.
Anyway, so and there was a transporter, there was a bridge, there was all sorts of cool stuff that they introduced to go with those figures, so you could play. The other thing they did, they started making models.
Oh, nice. God, yeah.
Now,
all kinds of them.
AMT got the license, and also Aurora models got the license. Now, I'm not even going to pretend that I have a lot of those. And you have to forgive me that the poor nacelle is for my original Start Enterprise that I built when I was 10.
Wow.
This is 52 years old. So it's the nacelle is, I got to re-glue the nacelle.
Right.
But,
that's pretty wild. Yeah, I remember that size of it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that was pretty cool. That came with a series of 3. There was a Klingon and a Romulan bird of prey.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Did they do the transport shuttle too? Because that was always such a big deal. Yeah, that was
cool. The decal.
Oh wow! Look at that underneath. That's
and those were transparency things. You had to put them in water, and then they would slide onto the model.
And you had to slide those on and not screw them up.
And then the Klingon bird of prey had a couple on it too.
Now, for some strange reason, my Klingon bird of prey I painted blue because I didn't know they were supposed to be green till Next Generation.
Oh,
but
maybe you're colorblind.
Maybe, but Gary was kind of asking about this.
Oh, the Galileo.
Yeah, there you go.
The Galileo.
The Galileo. Cool. And I will say that the Galileo 7 episode was a really good episode.
That was a good one. And then the prop that they used for that ship disappeared a bunch of times, and then somebody found it and restored it.
It did.
And now it's in a Star Trek museum, the actual one they used on the set, which is pretty dope.
Now I will kind of jump out of order of era because I'm just going to get the models out of the way because someone said I thought it was bigger. So this is a repo, like a reissue of the original.
That's cool.
Right.
Right.
That's what the box looked like. I remember that.
Yeah, the box is awesome. So the saucer section for this is this big.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Right.
My brother put lights in his too. He was drilling holes and threw lights in his.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things of the projects that I have that I haven't got quite done yet. You'll discover a theme here. That, and then there's another reissue of this one. This was a AMT Mr. Spock.
I remember that one too. That was cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And he's built, but he's not here.
He's in an undisclosed location right now.
He's in an undisclosed location. And then if you happen to see this is an awesome series. This is a AMT issue.
All the
and this
ships.
is all 7 of the Enterprises.
Wow.
Really cool.
Now, is the original your favorite, or did you have one that you liked better that they designed later?
The original always has a warm spot in my heart because it's the original ship.
Right.
Yeah.
The other ones are kind of cool, and I like them. I don't mind them, but I like the original Enterprise. That was my Enterprise, right?
If you're a kid back then, it's ingrained in your memory.
Yeah.
We're talking about it always being on before we ever got the cartoon or any other series. Like I don't ever remember growing up when that series wasn't in syndication.
There we go.
You could always watch it.
So this one.
What a great shot it is of the Enterprise.
Yeah, I like the A. That was a nice.
So this one's a Polar Lights. This one is almost 30 inches long.
Oof.
It has a lighting package. It has, you name it.
Yeah, Kmart. I remember Kmart.
Truly an amazing. It is huge, and this is one of those ones that you have to take your time to build. and do it right.
Dead, Jim. That's right. That was Bones' line. He's dead, Jim. Jim,
He's dead, Jim.
He had to keep saying that over and over.
Yeah.
This man's dead.
That one will come. So that's kind of, oh, I suppose I should show you this because this one is one that I did later after my small blue one. I did a green one.
There we go.
Ooh,
I always, those were my favorite. I love the look of those ships.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that probably is one of my most favorite scenes in the remake and the movie.
The motion picture.
The motion picture is when these guys
battle cruisers.
The battle cruisers were like the music and that whole scene.
Yeah.
Like if you want me to replay any scene in that entire movie, it's that one.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I agree. That was the best part of that whole movie.
Yeah. So we had the Mego figures. We had the models coming. People were trying to come up with other things. And then Steve, you'll enjoy this. Mad did this one.
Yes, I have that.
Man.
I have.
Nice.
The parodies.
Right? So
the parodies started
this is
flying.
1976.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And look who's got the red shirt on. Uh-oh.
Mhm.
Yep.
What? Me worry?
Alfred E. Newman.
So there's been chatter about the movie coming and they're going to come. So there's a little bit more activity, And then in 77 also the Star Trek fan club is really, really starting to ramp up a bit more. And they were pumping out these.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Something's coming out of Spock's head.
There's I
I
think about eight issues of this fan club magazine.
Look
the covers are pretty cool. The stories are pretty cool. It shows you how to set up a convention and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And so they're still trying to figure out, okay, things like are things going to come along? And then
So Brad was a member of Starfleet Canada?
Yeah, probably because of Vulcan in Alberta.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Because the fan club up there was huge, if it still isn't now.
Matt Woods. Hey,
so
Matt.
Whitman then came out with these.
Yes, I have those.
Oh, wow.
Great.
So these are the Dynabrites, right?
They were great.
These are just reprints of the Gold Key comics as well. There's 2 Gold Key stories in each one of these.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just heavier stock, painted covers, pretty, they're pretty cool. There's about 4 or 5 of these, or 6, I think, of these ones in the Dynabrite where people were collecting, because again, they're not getting Star Trek because they want it. And what's really cool, because the British people do stuff all the time, right? This thing started in England in 1970, and there's 16 of them.
Oh, wow.
Cool. What a twist on it, eh?
So this is hardcover.
Hardcover, yeah.
And they're color comics.
That's pretty wild.
They're all original stories.
So they're not reprinted from the from the Gold Keys?
No.
Those colors look great.
The colors are great. The stories are good. There was Star Trek cartoon or strips in newspapers.
Yeah.
So some of these allegedly are some of those strips in the newspaper.
Look at the Klingon ship. It's orange.
Yeah, the Klingon ship is orange. It's BBC. See, it says so right here, Steve.
BBC TV, yeah.
BBC TV.
Now in orange.
Yeah, now in orange.
Now, did they ever do any comics based on the animated series, Mark?
No.
Okay.
Thank you for that segue, Gary. That's lovely. So, but they didn't do comics, and they didn't really do a lot of stuff in regards to the animated series. There's not a lot of stuff out there related to the anime series, but there is this.
What in the heck?
That's Viewmaster.
A Viewmaster reel of the animated series.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I want to say there was a kid up the street that had one of those, like of the Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like he was older than I was, but I remember, I vividly remember somebody having one.
Yeah, and they're, like this one has the if I can get it open.
Yeah, the Viewmaster
Viewmaster.
stuff was pretty cool. I remember that as a kid.
Yeah.
Having those
That's over there,
Viewmasters and all the different, having to go out in the sunlight and finding some kind of light.
So this one, it's real. Again, it's hard to see. Most of the Viewmasters had like little books with them, right? That you could follow along.
English and French and Spanish. And,
this is it for this one. That's like it. Reel 1, Reel 2, it just tells you what you're looking at, which is kind of like, I don't understand why, but
do you still have a Viewmaster?
Who?
You got a Viewmaster?
Yeah,
you probably got a couple of them in different themed ones.
I have a few Viewmaster reels.
Perfect. Just a few, though, right?
Ashamed. Pull them suckers out. Let's look at
now.
them.
We need a picture of you on Instagram with a Viewmaster.
That's going to be a new show now. That's another episode on the 1011 Viewmaster.
I don't even know where we are. Okay, so
that's the flying animation, and then Viewmaster.
Then they're Viewmaster. So we're trying to move things along, right? Because
you only got a half an hour. You're fine.
Yeah. So we want people excited about Star Trek. We got to keep them interested. So they came out with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, the coloring books. I remember that.
Coloring book. Boy.
So there's all kinds of coloring books, like all kinds. You name it. And like there's activity books.
Wow.
Right? Yes, the anachronic comics are in effect. So this one is kind of neat.
Oh, yeah.
This one's 1977. So the movie hasn't come out yet, but this book has.
Yeah, it was huge through the 70s. I mean, everyone was just going crazy for it. And there wasn't even a movie. Yeah, it was just the series. Trillions of Trilegs.
So this one, ready? Don't get excited.
Is this the record? Oh, it's a diorama.
It's a pop-up book.
That's cool.
The diorama going.
A pop-up books. My God. There you go.
There you go.
Damn, I haven't seen one of those in a dog's age.
So they were doing all kinds of stuff to get people interested, and it was selling, kids. Obviously.
Yeah.
Like that again, Paramount's not stupid. Every one of these things I've shown you has got Paramount's name on it.
Right.
They're making money.
Because they knew they screwed up by canceling the show, so they had to make up the cash somehow.
Absolutely. Right. So in 1977, they came out with the movie, right? And there's a 3-part series to that.
Yep.
And this one is my favorite of the 3.
That's covered. Cool cover.
Yeah, it's just a cool cover.
Well, it's a lot better than the actual movie was then.
Now, I mean, with Star Trek, you always think of the Enterprise, right?
You do.
So, in your opinion, Mark.
Yes.
With all the historic ships in sci-fi, from the one in Battlestar Galactica to the Millennium Falcon, the Slave One, all the Buck Rogers ship, all these different ships, the Cylon ships in Battlestar Galactica, all these different ships. Do you think the most important one is the Enterprise? Because it's kind of the granddaddy that kicked off making ships important to the franchises.
Yes. I would say now there are people who are my age and a little older who would argue Jupiter 2 is just as important from Lost in Space.
Lost in Space, yeah.
That makes sense.
But because
they lived in that joint. I mean,
but just on the scale of it, though, I mean, we're talking a starship.
When you think of Lost in Space, the ship isn't one of the first things that comes up to your mind.
It always crashed.
The Jupiter 2 is never a character in the show.
No,
right.
No,
and the Enterprise is a character.
Yes, when you think Star Trek, you automatically the Enterprise always enters your thoughts.
Absolutely.
And
that's why when they blew her up,
tears.
It was like
no.
You don't be. What are you doing? You sail her into mothballs and you put her away. So, and I will have a full disclosure here. In the second Star Trek movie, my brother Mike and we took our significant others to watch The Wrath of Khan. Okay.
Best movie ever.
Which, in my opinion, is still the best Star Trek movie ever.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. regardless of whether you like Corinthian leather or not.
Oh, damn it! You beat me to the Corinthian leather joke. Damn it!
Well, the Reliant is just such a cool ass looking ship. Like, I mean, when I saw that Reliant ship, I went, yeah, I made that thing out of Lego when I was a kid, man. Because I thought that ship looked so cool.
Anyway,
it's just a badass looking ship.
When Spock dies, my brother and I, and we grew up on Star Trek. My brother and I are sitting there, and our significant others are killing themselves because we're getting all teary-eyed because our favorite hero in the entire world,
he's dying,
is dying on the screen, and it was like, what are you doing?
Right. And then when you hear Kirk doing the eulogy and he breaks up, I mean, that just you go,
yeah. It was like it was a quiet ride home. And
bow your heads and
and there's people laughing at us the whole time, which is not fair.
No.
Anyway, luckily he had his resurrection in the next movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like the multiverse. They had to bring him back.
It's like the multiverse. And then the SOBs blew up the Enterprise, which you're going to kill both of my best friends ever in this franchise. You're going to bring one of them back,
Dr.
and then
Brown.
you bring back the other one and change your nacelles a little bit, and it's all supposed to be okay.
Yeah.
Not okay.
Just right.
Not okay.
The OG is gone, man.
And untouchable.
No,
even the seat
like Enterprise number 6.
Not okay.
Start putting letters A, B, C. We got a lot of letters in the alphabet.
Anyway, speaking of the Wrath of Khan, this is kind of a cool thing. They came up with this.
Yes.
So this is a photo story of the Wrath of Khan. This one came out in, actually, this is from '82. Sadly, it's black and white, but it's the whole movie.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's still cool.
It is very cool.
There's a collection of those books, though. There's more than just one, isn't there?
Yeah,
there's a brother had a bunch of them. Yeah.
So Marvel at this point has still got license for Star Trek. Gold Key has some still, right? Because they're coming out with those Dynabrites and stuff I showed you. But Marvel did this.
Yeah. Yep. Remember those too.
Yeah, I love those. The pocket books.
Yeah, and it's all color, right? Now, on the back, they advertised 2 more, but I have never seen them.
But now we got to go look for them.
Well, and I don't know if they ever existed, Jim. I don't know.
Right. There was plans, but it never came to fruition.
And that's kind of I'm wondering if that happened. Because shortly after this one came out in what year was this one?
Well, Jerry, I think that First Contact is a good one. I like that one.
So he wants to know, Mark, while you're looking at that, Jerry wants to know what your first generation movie is, your favorite one.
What's your favorite
My favorite of the next gen?
First gen. Favorite first gen.
Oh, my favorite movie of the original series?
Yeah.
Is Wrath of Khan.
Oh, yeah. God, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Wrath of Khan, man. Yeah. See right there. Brad knows.
Yeah. Wrath of Khan.
And like you, I also saw that in the theater.
Yeah, me too. I was too young to get in, and this lady was in the lineup, and they were going to kick my brother out of line, and she vouched for us and said that we could sit with her during the movie.
Well, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, because we didn't realize it wasn't just a G movie anymore.
No, because they
had a higher rating, right?
Right. So, Wrath of Khan, that's my go-to. So the licensing for comics leaves Marvel shortly after those books are out, and I'm wondering if that's why they didn't finish, or
maybe they did. Yeah,
but
license could have jumped. Yep.
Yeah, the license jumped actually in 1984 to DC.
Or it wasn't selling well, because if it's not selling well, they'll just drop it.
Well,
right?
Marvel will drop it like a hot potato, but DC picked it up right immediately.
Yeah.
So this is issue number 1, first DC issue of Star Trek.
There you go, Chris Bigger. Damn you.
There you go, Chris. I'm talking about DC.
That's right.
Jerry's is Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered.
Wow. That one wasn't bad. Cybok.
Cybok. Really?
Okay. Well.
Now, who do you think?
There you go. Phaser.
We'll take Gold Key out of it because they're the original, right? Who do you think?
You like that?
Does the small part just detach from the bigger part of it?
Well, yeah, because
the mini phaser out. Because it has to.
Who gave you better Star Trek stories, Marvel or DC? More true to the franchise.
There you go. He's just playing with his toys right now.
I'm playing with my toys now. There's a few here. DC had pretty good stories, and DC also followed the movies better. So Marvel also did a larger edition movie book, right? And the preview size.
The Marvel preview.
Yeah. They did that and whatnot, and then they seem to have lost the series. So then DC picked up, and like DC did all kinds of stuff, like the Search for Spock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This one is
with the Enterprise that was built in Taiwan.
Yeah, The Voyage Home.
Yeah. That one wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
Ship. The whale thing was a little, I don't know what the
Undiscovered Country. There you go. There's right.
I like The Voyage.
Nice.
Yeah. So they did, and then DC started picking up.
Oh yeah, the Next Generation.
The Next Gen.
Yeah.
So Next Gen really kind of, picked stuff up. Diamond Toys started doing a lot. Oh,
nice.
The communicator.
Did you get a call?
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course you hear that sound and it takes you back to sitting in front of the TV.
And the way he flipped it open, Kirk was always so cool with all his motions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need somebody to beam us up right now.
So, the grandfather of the flip phone.
Right.
There you go. Yeah.
And this, because
all the tricorder.
Oh,
wow.
Nice.
And it's all
functional. So now my question is, didn't that come with, like, they would pull out this, this wand thing or something?
Yeah, the doors would open up on the front of it and all that. Yeah, there was it's got stuff.
You mean this?
Accessories.
Right. And they're supposed to sit there and wave it around and it made all
Yeah.
That
was McCoy's little
this was his scanner. So
medical tricorder.
Medical tricorder.
Because there were different types of tricorders, right?
Yeah,
there was the scientific one, the medical one.
You had
making noises.
It made noises and stuff, right?
Looks like a big H.
I know. And again, that looks brand new too.
And that's just
you gotta look after your toys, Gary.
That's right. You just look at them. You don't play with them.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
You carefully put them back in the box. Don't play with
Steve,
them.
you can't let your brother play with them.
No, I was the one that destroyed everything. My brother lost his marbles because he wanted to keep everything mint in box, and I ripped shit open and destroyed it.
It's really cool. Do you hear that noise?
Yeah.
I put this away without shutting it off.
Oh, it's still making noises.
Stop.
Warning you, don't do it. Don't take me out again.
Alexa, shut it down.
Approximately 700 meters from here.
Oh, nice.
Even has his voice. That's cool.
Anyway.
Leonard Nimoy from the grave.
I have no idea, Gary, if we're on 4 or 10 or 5.
I wasn't keeping count. I'm just letting you run wild.
And just show us some more cool stuff.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's all about quantity this time.
Keep going.
We're digging it tonight. We're letting you run free.
So Next Gen comes on the scene. Brand new crew. The first couple stories are horrendous. This new captain, this first officer that sits in chairs weird.
It says engage.
Yeah, he says engage and
Number
make it
one.
so and all that stuff. And their phasers are just goofy.
Oh yeah, those things, big clunky things.
Like, I mean,
it's not gun shaped.
Yeah, they got 30 different stun
something
settings.
that is like you can hide it in the palm of your hand to something that is freaking huge.
Yeah,
right. It looks like a face razor.
It does.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, it's ridiculous. Just more continuity.
Made by Gillette.
So as I said, DC gets into this and they start to do the Next Generation, a whole bunch of issues. It does really well. Then they decide to, some of the annuals they do. This one's kind of cool. This is annual 1990 annual number 1.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's a cool cover.
This is actually written by George Takei.
Yeah, there's a ton of Star Trek comic books, and they're pretty much worthless.
So
most of those ones.
If I could ever get George Takei at something, I would love to have him sign this book.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is one of the, first ones. This is his story and whatnot. And we could,
Oh my.
oh my.
Yeah,
And-
that's all weird. Oh my.
Oh my.
He looked
And,
fabulous in the cape.
So Paramount is making all kinds of money because they're starting to release stuff like this.
Yeah, that the Romulan bird of prey looked pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right?
It's kind of like 2 Klingon ships put back to back.
Well, they're doing something.
Yeah.
I mean, the design is just weird, but
Yeah.
The ship that's a donut ship with the hole in the middle.
and then they came out with a whole bunch of ships of the line, right?
Yeah.
So
Is that Voyager? Whoa. Oh yeah.
so this
Okay.
is Enterprise E.
Right. The Excelsior. I like the Excelsior. Yeah, that's a weird looking one.
And you asked me, Gary, about ships.
Right.
Okay. So the E is only in one episode. And that was a great episode, but it's only in one episode. Which was okay. But the ship that actually, is a pretty cool ship is this one.
Yep.
So
The Souther section come apart.
like
Right.
Right?
It's cool that they have sound effects in all of them.
yeah.
I like
and,
that.
Try me. So
I'll take that.
they're pumping stuff out. Then Marvel gets back into the race.
Hey, we want a piece of the money.
And
Yeah.
they came out with this.
Oh yeah. DS9.
So this is issue number 1 of Deep Space Nine, and they did a series. It wasn't long lived, but they did a series. And this is a sealed pack. So this is a 3-pack. It has the Starfleet Academy,
Oh wow.
and the other issue is Star Trek Voyager, which you can't see. It's in the middle. So I've never opened this one.
Oh, get your blade out.
Oh,
Let's
open it
crack
now.
into
Let's
that.
do it.
Yeah,
Let's do
get into
it. Come on. Yeah, yeah. Poke, poke, poke.
The National Archives. Get the phaser out.
Come on. You
No,
know,
I'm still-
you wanna
I
get that
will-
smell.
I will find these 3 and loose so I can
Somewhere in the
look
ether.
at them.
Right. I wouldn't open it either, Mark.
Thank you, Gary. And
Oh.
some other cool things that Star Trek did, like Paramount did, is like, and I don't know if you saw this in the States, but the Canadian Mint released an Enterprise coin.
Oh,
I can remember the
wow.
coin. That is cool.
The claim coin.
2016.
Yeah, 2016.
Now you'll be getting a visit from Digger Jim.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now I got someone saying get that coin.
And one of the things I was looking for, Gary, and I can't find also is Matchbox came out with Star Trek.
Yeah, they had the little
Right.
metal ones.
And
Yeah.
they have the Enterprise, they have a Klingon.
There's Christmas ornaments from Hallmark. For
Oh
Christmas.
yeah, and
Oh, yeah.
then and Hot Wheels is on the bandwagon
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
See,
remember
that was the only
too.
problem with Deep Space Nine, right? How are you going to make that big base into a toy?
Well, and that's
Yeah.
the problem with Deep Space
Yeah.
Nine. Though Deep Space Nine went for a lot of series,
I think it was 9 seasons, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did. That's
I mean,
And-
people
They had a
love
whole
that
war
show.
and everything, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a lot of people's
a
favorite
They're
lot
show.
of
Defiant.
people loved that show.
the Defiant came out of that.
the Defiant.
So you
Yeah,
could-
that
you
was a
could do
wicked
the-
little ship.
Yeah, you could.
Little.
That was, I think that was like the first, in my opinion, the first ship that was like, this is just for war.
Yeah.
There's no exploration. We're not exploring shit.
Yep.
We're gonna
Just-
arm
just
it to the
shoot-
teeth and
yeah,
just kill
shoot shit.
anything that came
Yeah.
in my way.
That's
Yeah.
what
That's
I
what
liked
I
about it
loved.
too.
Yeah, and I have pocket watches from the Vegas. Yeah, the Star Trek exhibit. If anybody are like we went to see that, my sons and I, when I toured up into Toronto, was an awesome exhibit.
Nice.
Very, very cool. The traveling one anyway. And you can get some pretty cool stuff. One of the things they did do around the time of the movie, the original movie, and again, this was Mego did this. They came out with this scale of
Oh
figure.
yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
remember.
that's
Remember
cool.
my
Look at
brother
that
had all them,
card.
too.
Yeah,
That card
great
image is
cards,
amazing.
and they came out with all those figures.
Yep.
Right.
Wow.
Some really cool
Awesome.
figures. And
God, those uniforms were horrible.
yeah, they were. And then like
What the hell were they thinking?
I don't know. Playmates came out with Next Gen.
Yep.
Nice.
Posable figures.
Yep. And like the loose guys like
Oh, the Borg.
Wow. The Borg had to be one of the best baddies of.
Oh yeah.
So for the first series, Spock was your favorite.
Yes.
The second one, Generations, Picard was your favorite.
Yes.
Okay. Now, who's your favorite in Deep Space Nine?
Gary, and I'm going to get a bunch of hate mail now. I was not a fan of Deep Space Nine. I tried, and I love Star Trek.
Just didn't capture you, huh?
It didn't capture me. It
doesn't have the same feel as the original series.
Right.
That was a long 9 seasons for you.
You're stationary.
Yeah, I think it was almost like man, I don't like to use this word, but like off-brand.
Yeah.
Off-brand Star Trek.
Off-brand.
Yeah.
You know, you had what was the guy's name from
Cisco?
From
Are you saying it was
the guy from the original Next Gen.
Worf and O'Brien were both.
O'Brien, O'Brien starts out, and I think they brought in Worf later.
Yeah,
right?
they brought in Worf later
to try and boost the ratings. I would imagine.
Again, it was an off-brand, and I think people were like, just like Gary said, I don't know what this is. They're not going anywhere. They're not exploring anything. People come. It was like they're on the Love Boat or something.
It's like Star Wars with all the offshoots too, right?
Yeah.
Right around when DC. I couldn't do it. So right around when DC dropped Star Trek, the Mirage guys, these guys took over.
Right.
Card inside.
Yeah, and they only did Deep Space Nine, and that was it. And they didn't do very many issues. Like,
so how do you feel about Voyager and Janeway and all them?
Voyager, I really liked.
I did too.
Other than the Kazon, I was really happy when they dropped the Kazon story arcs because I hated that part. But the Voyager I liked, and because also a caveat to that, I was watching Voyager with my sons.
Oh, nice.
So you were watching week to week. So
we were watching. It was like it was one of those things. We're going to go watch Voyager.
What was the Scott Bakula one?
That was
Enterprise.
Archer. Yeah, Enterprise. That was
Enterprise.
Jonathan Archer. Yeah.
Jonathan Archer. They tried to
prequel.
They tried to do a prequel, but they kept bringing in characters into the prequel that we should not see.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they messed up the timelines.
They messed up
like this is an alternate universe version.
They should have been more there, and there's lots of stuff they could have done. The whole Klingon War, the Romulan War, like all that stuff they could have done. And
if they'd read the books, if they knew the lore, it's almost like there were people that didn't know what the hell anything about the franchise.
Yeah,
I did think it was funny that they were like, "Man, I don't want to get in that thing and try and let them, take my molecules apart." Because remember, in the beginning, they would just put stuff on the pad and
it was for transporting materials,
material, no people.
Yeah,
and like you said, you're literally disintegrating them in one place and then recreating them in the other.
Right.
So.
And
now they're dead.
Malibu Comics did 32 issues of Deep Space Nine, and that's it.
And they all have cards, or just a few of them had cards?
But still, 32 issues isn't bad.
It's not bad. It's not the largest run, which we're going to get to.
Ooh.
So it wasn't.
Well, that's IDW. They've had that for years, right?
They have. So, we're going to get into. Oh, there's other cool stuff like this. This is kind of neat.
Oh, cool! The badge, and then you hit it, and it makes noise.
Wow.
Then the figures they started with the small guys and the 3 3/4 inch. The Migos were kind of starting off, and then Art Asylum. I don't know if one of you are familiar with Art Asylum. No. They came out with a series of figures, and they're actually really, really well done. So this is their Spock figure.
Oh wow,
that's pretty cool.
And very, very like the communicator.
Nice, very detailed.
Very detailed. Phasers.
Wow, more sculpted than the crappy blue one.
Very, very. 70s. So there's McCoy
with nothing.
Well, I got them all, but I'm not.
He's got to save lives, right?
I got to take them. And there's Uhura.
Wow.
Aggressively relaxing. Where have you been, buddy? You missed all the good stuff.
Sulu.
Rewind.
There's Scotty.
Finally, they have the other characters, right? Chekhov and the whole bit.
And there's also I have Kirk. Now they have more characters. They have aliens from from Art Asylum. They did a whole bunch of different ones. They're very detailed, very posable.
Nice.
The very detailed kits and pieces and toys. And
tell me they had the green chick alien.
I was just going to ask if they ever did the green chick. One of the most famous things from Star Trek.
Because you're starting to talk posable, and you're thinking, all right, we get Kirk.
Easy, Steve. This is a family channel.
Since when?
I cannot say that they did. Now, I do know that Diamond Select did Amigo of a green chick.
Nice.
Oh,
so
okay.
When they did the reissue of them, they did all
Right.
kinds of aliens. Like they did.
Right, in the new movies, I think they had Diora Baird as the green chick.
Yeah. Like, okay, here's some Batman trivia. Who else did they have as a green chick?
In Batman.
Uma Thurman?
No.
Oh,
Not.
Poison
Oh,
Ivy.
you're way too new.
Poison Ivy.
Way too
She's a
new.
green
Oh.
chick.
Batgirl.
Eartha Kitt?
Oh, you're taking
No.
back in the
Oh,
60s.
you're into the
Batgirl.
right era.
Julie Newmar.
Who played Batgirl?
Yvonne.
Oh,
something.
Yvonne Craig.
Yvonne
Craig.
Craig.
I couldn't remember her last name.
She
I get
played the
half
green
credit.
chick in the original series.
Oh,
I get half
Hey,
credit.
That was her?
You
Right
need to
on.
go look at the episode. It's a great episode.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
no, this might send me on an original series binge.
I know.
Damn it.
So
Damn it.
I'm gonna do this little series, a couple more comic books, and then I'm gonna do one figure, and then I'm gonna do my story. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you're good, man.
So-
Have fun.
IDW picked up in about, I don't know, 2008, somewhere in there.
Mhm.
And they started coming out with all sorts of really good books, like they do books like this, right? They have different story arcs. This is a one-shot Star Trek Klingons. This one's pretty cool, Jim, if you like Klingons. It's
Yeah.
not a bad read. They, there's a dealer incentive of this one as well. This is a 2022 book. Like, it's pretty new. And this one is just cool because of the
It looks
artist.
like they
Colors
renumbered.
look amazing.
And they're still doing those now. I mean, the
Yeah, they
regular
are.
series they did is up to
2024.
120. I think 126 or 7 just came out.
Yep.
The original series,
Plus, they have Defiant and a bunch
yeah.
of other spin-offs.
IDW, this year at New York Comic Con celebrated their 500th issue.
Yeah.
And Alex Ross did this.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now
I'm
that's
just looking at that on here, wondering what the hell that one is.
beautiful.
Well,
It's,
that's easily got to be one of his best pieces. Holy cow.
This-
Yeah.
it's the original 3 main characters, the 4 characters with the Enterprise coming at you.
What
100-page spectacular.
Yes.
That's
Where
a
did you
cool
get
cover
that?
too.
This was a New York Comic Con exclusive.
This year?
Yep.
They started in 2011. They
Now,
did 60 issues.
What you have to ask yourself, Jim, is how does a poor retiree living in North Bay, Ontario, Canada,
Poor.
get this? Is because Dave Bratton is a super duper guy.
Nice.
It's always the connections.
It's a connection. So
Hey,
Dave,
I
nothing
got a
wrong with
guy.
that, brother.
Mark's got a guy.
yeah, I got a guy. And now
When
Joe
I'm looking for that pure snow, that's what I'm calling you.
So anyway, I
He's
was
got the
I'm an
uncut
Alex
stuff.
Ross guy. I had to have this book.
Mark knows a guy who knows a guy.
I knows a guy who knows a guy. So I like a lot of the figures and stuff. And what's really cool, a few years ago, and these actually are coming out of my my sons have been giving me these for either Christmas or my birthday every once in a while, not every year, just as things come up. And I have the original 4. I have Spock, Kirk, Scotty, and McCoy. I'm just going to show you McCoy.
Nice.
Oh, nice packaging too. Look at that.
Wow.
So yeah,
The box art's cool.
these
Can't be
are
cheap.
amazing.
They can't be cheap either. Oh my
Oh,
god!
sure.
I bet they're
And those are
expensive.
their resin statues?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they still
So,
have to.
no, these are they actually move, Steve.
No way.
So
Oh.
there's the phaser
From it? Wow.
from it,
Holy crap.
and here is the figure.
Oh, wow.
Jesus, look, even the leather kind of pouch there for
Right, it's almost like Hot Toys quality.
That's
this is Hot Toys quality. So this, I want to show you this. This is Bones's medical kit.
Holy crap.
Wow.
Even with all the instruments in there.
Yeah. And
cool.
this is held on by little magnets. Like there's
okay
on the side, right? The tricorder. He's got his little scanner there, Jim.
Nice.
He's dead,
Classic
Jim.
pose.
Jimmy's dead.
Jimmy's dead. So
the detail is impressive.
Yeah, the detail is pretty amazing.
Probably the price tag too.
The head sculpts are pretty amazing.
Wow.
That was just the stand that fell, Jim. Nothing bad happened.
Okay. I was gonna say that didn't sound good at all.
There's explosions happening.
There's like Spock.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice. Now, does he come with different hands that pop on?
Yeah, they all come with like 6 different
phaser hand, the pointing hand.
Yeah, just very, very cool. The tricorders work. I have Scotty over there, but I won't reach. He's too far. No, I'd better show you this because this is important. This is detail.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the finger is missing, huh?
He's missing the finger.
Holy cow. Right on.
Wow.
So that's
now, I never noticed he was missing a finger ever.
Oh, they didn't show.
Well, they might have shot him. Yeah, I mean, they might have shot him a specific side so he couldn't see it.
Yeah, if you go back and look at the original series, Gary, you'll notice that he's always got his hand down by his side or it's somewhere doing something. So you never see he's missing that finger.
Right. For the record, the same thing.
But they should have wrote that into the show, into a battle.
Well, they
that would have been cool. For the record, they did the same thing with Radar on MASH.
Oh,
really? Radar has his right hand, I believe, is I don't know, he has something, and you'll always see his hand in his pocket. Yeah, you very rarely see it.
Very rarely, yeah. It's amazing what they can do. So, like the detail on this is really cool. They're an excellent little group. I usually have them up there on display with a Cylon sneaking up on them. That's why their heads are turned and stuff.
Nice.
Anyway.
Well, you got to have the different franchises attacking.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, Gary, I'm gone really long. I'm going to be really quick. This is my last real quick story. I also have had the opportunity to meet some of the characters at Fan Expo.
Oh,
Get signatures and stuff. But I want to talk real quick about this one.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yep.
So it says on here, to the Andrews with profound love and appreciation, Michelle Nicole.
Awesome.
That is cool.
My sons and I were in line. There wasn't very many people in line to see her, sadly, at this particular show. And
that's just crazy.
Which is crazy.
That's
and
criminal.
Very much so. So we get up there and I said to her, these are my sons. Pleased to meet you. I said, I have to tell you a story about my father. And she immediately kind of, sat back a little bit.
Yeah.
She said, I've heard these stories before. And I said, I don't think so. I said, my dad, when I was 5, took me to see 2001, A Space Odyssey, because he wanted me to understand space travel. He had great hope. He was a member of the Planetary Society. He thought he saw humanity going a direction he wanted to go. And when I was growing up, and I explained this to her, while I was growing up, my father wanted us to watch Star Trek. Wow. He didn't like us watching Tarzan.
Right.
Because he had a hard time understanding an English lord raised by apes should become a brown person's king.
Right. We're going back in time here.
We're going back in time. So he encouraged us to watch Star Trek because of Uhura, because of Sulu, because of a green alien being the first officer. And it was what my dad saw as hope for humanity. And because of you, I got to watch everyone, and I became a Star Trek fan. And when I told her that story, she leaned right forward and she took a hold of my hand and leaned forward and thanked us, and then turned to my sons and said, you have an amazing grandfather. And he's raised his son right.
Nice.
And then she wrote that on the picture for us. So Star Trek is entertainment. It's cool stuff. It's all this stuff. It's all the stuff I've shown you. But Gene Roddenberry had a dream where we were all going to be. And I hope to God that dream's not dead. And yeah, it's science fiction. And yeah, a lot of people don't understand it, but it's pretty cool. And I've raised my sons with the same thoughts and same love of this stuff. They love Star Trek. They love Star Wars. They, but it's a pretty cool thing, and it's a lot of fun. So
well, and all those different characters is part of what drew you to Star Trek. It's what made it interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that Uhura, in that time of, you got to remember that in the 60s, what's going on in the 60s.
Right.
So height of the Cold War too still.
Yeah, we're in the Cold War.
Yeah.
We're in the Cold War. We have a Russian on the ship.
Right. I was going to say, you have Chekhov on the ship.
You
Not just that, but he's flying it a lot too.
A white guy kissing a black woman.
We have a white guy kissing a black woman, though Nichelle Nichols said she had to kiss him, which was horrible. Anyway.
I bet.
It was groundbreaking, and
it was very progressive.
It was uplifting, and it makes me smile every time I watch the original series. And yeah, some of it's corny, and like some of the effects haven't aged well, but who cares? It's the idea of the story, but
none of those characters were caricatures; they were just real good characters.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And, the other thing that was always made me kind of smile, especially for, you got to think about this, a really young Canadian kid, living, in rural Ontario, and to realize and be told that, wait a minute, two of the main characters are Canadian, William Shatner and James Doonan.
Yep.
And you go, wow, really? That's pretty cool. Like, so there, it gave you inspiration to do so much. So
and it's still and it's never really lost its cultural reference.
I don't think so. And I think it's one that we need to be reminded of again and again and again. It's like we're all in this. That's why I love this poster. Like that. It's hard to see, but that's an astronaut's helmet on the moon with the Earth behind him and the Enterprise coming into the view.
Right.
That's cool.
That's what he actually saw when he was there.
Yeah, and he just wouldn't tell anyone. So, it's pretty cool, and it's amazing all the stuff that I have, Gary, that I had to dig out for this because
including those record books.
That's okay. That's what this is about. So this is cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I've talked about the records before, Steve, so I didn't want to on those. So, but anyway, that's a lot of part of my Star Trek collection, and I hope people had enjoyed it because I had fun showing you.
How could you not enjoy that? that was fantastic, Mark.
That is awesome.
Great collection, awesome toys. Those figures were amazing. The models were great. The comics were incredible. Just really cool. The viewfinder, everything was just really cool.
Yeah.
See, I might have to watch an original series episode before I go to bed tonight now.
I know.
On VHS if you want to borrow them.
Right.
Well, I got VHS and the DVDs because I got both. But anyway.
Well, and you know why it's important to have those in physical format is because streaming doesn't have a lot of the music rights, and they have to add in different
it's
soundtracks.
It's not the same.
Really? Wow.
Right, because I have there's some series I have on DVD, and you get the music that's in the show.
Yeah.
If you watch it on streaming, the music's different, and it doesn't hit the same.
It's not the same.
Right.
If you're watching a Star Trek show and you don't have it's pointless.
Yeah.
Oh,
The coolest weapons.
Good stuff. That was fantastic.
So,
and
I'm gonna get beamed up.
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I think, I had all this stuff here, but I think you answered all the questions I had with while you were talking. So great job. Favorites original was Mirror Mirror.
Yep.
There was so many good ones.
There was so many good ones. So many.
My favorite was the Doomsday Machine.
The Doomsday Machine.
Yep. With the constellation.
Yep.
The one episode too where they're fighting, and I forgot which character. I think it was Spock. He was having to hold the big foam rock against himself, like he was crushed.
Oh, yeah,
but you can see the rock, the foam rock moving.
Yeah,
and that kind of stuff is just fun.
It is like in the Galileo 7 too, when the giants were throwing the rocks and stuff at the ship, and they were all the foam. And
they're kind of bouncing bad. You know, some of the original series, you can have a great drinking game, Gary. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
You spot the stunt double,
right? Look completely different.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh well, great episode, Mark. Thank you so much. It's always I can't wait to see what we see out of your collection next.
Man, that was wicked.
That was cool. Now I expected to see cool stuff, but that was above and beyond. Oh, yeah,
I did not know that stuff about the Mego being like you have to look at specific things because I remember that. I would think you probably see the diamond ones all over the place.
Yep.
Because
nobody would know the difference unless you know what you're looking for. So
check it out on the back.
The Devil in the Dark holds up great.
That's another good one.
Another good one. There were so many. Yeah, they had great titles too for a lot of these episodes.
Yeah.
That's Bones' famous saying, I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer.
Yeah.
It's the Devil in the Dark.
Right.
He always had like terms like that. It was hilarious. He had to keep coming up with different ways to say he's dead, Jim. And
well, he was like a curmudgeon before being curmudgeonly was cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Spock mind melding with the Horta.
Yeah.
Then, like when you had to see Spock and Jim fight, I mean, you're like, no, not Jim. Spock and Kirk fight. James T. Kirk. You're like, no, don't make them fight. They're friends. They're not supposed to fight.
That's right.
Like as a kid, make you mad.
James Tiberius Kirk, little guy from Iowa.
Yeah, I tried to name my son Tiberius, and it was immediately vetoed.
Hard.
Yeah.
Probably a good thing because in school the kids would be merciless.
Yeah, probably. But
he would have got a nickname. And it would have been he would have got a cool nickname.
Tybone or something.
Right.
But wow. Yeah, great episode, Mark. Fantastic.
I hope it wasn't too long. I hope people can get through it.
Nope.
And of course we'll do our normal. We start with it's Thursday, so we're starting with Jim. Jim, anything coming up for you?
You know, I'm going to tell you, I'm taking a YouTube hiatus right now. I might post an original, some shorts here and there if I get some stuff in, but I don't have any content coming out right now. I needed a break. So I did my 2025 list at the beginning of the year. And as I get those, I'll definitely shoot a video, but right now you're going to see is shorts coming out here and there. And I'll be on people's lives. You'll see me around.
Good.
Nice. Well, yeah, I mean, you have to be here or else I hit the little button here and you get a shock in your seat.
I understand.
The chip in his head
goes off.
Chip in the head starts into
Christ. Steve, what's coming up for you, sir?
It's the same kind of thing as Jim, but mine is because of work, unfortunately. But I do have some videos in the queue, so I'll throw those up. I still do my voices choices, but yeah, same kind of deal. I just haven't had time to do a whole lot of content. There are some cons coming up. Hopefully, I don't know what the weather's going to be like this weekend. There's supposed to be a Comic-Con, like a small one in Toronto, North Toronto.
Nice.
It's just comics, and there's going to be like 60 vendors there.
We will have to talk off camera about that, Steve.
Yeah,
that's the way to go right there.
Yeah. So.
And of course, next week for me is a horror week on 2/10/11s. Tuesday, we have Dope Comics coming on for horror. And that's going to be a fun one. And then Thursday, we have Adrian, Actual Dracula, on for horror.
Nice.
Oh, you got to put me in Tuesday. Put me in, Coach. Put me in. Because up here, Monday's a holiday, so I won't have my class Monday, so I should be alive on Tuesday.
All right, that'll work. I'll take you. Anytime.
Yeah, I got to be around for Dope, man. He's my horror guy.
Yeah. So there you go. So
hey, Gary, I actually have something.
I'm going to you next. We always do. We always do the guest last.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mark, what's coming up for you?
Gee, thanks, Gary, for that. We're doing this.
That almost sounded scripted.
It was. I'm doing an espresso mail call with Joe on the 28th of February at 8:00.
Oh crap! Yeah, I'm probably in that too.
So, and probably so is Steve.
Yeah,
and anyone else who has cool stuff.
Well, now we just gotta get our buddy Milt back again and get him in these shows again.
Yep.
Milt's tickle trunk is just incredible. That thing's endless.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
When you got Mark and Milt going at it, you got some great stuff.
That's a good night. That's a good night right there.
Well,
you just get the pen just runs out of ink.
Either, Gary.
Chuck is not a slouch. Chuck's got great stuff too.
Oh yeah, another FOMO.
So between Mark, Chuck, and Milt, those are the three guys that are impossible to A-OK because they have fucking everything.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
no, don't.
You pick it up, you're like, oh, they got it.
I send some stuff up to the Arctic Circle that Mark doesn't have. I find stuff.
Right.
Not that I don't.
I ask him questions too. I said, "Hey, Mark, you got this?" Nope. Okay, it's coming your way.
And you know what? It's not. It's the. I don't want people to send stuff to me because the shipping and mail is insane.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
I don't have everything. Like I'm sure there's at least a couple issues of something I don't have.
Yeah.
Right.
One or
now,
two,
Steve, he's just being a nice friend by telling you he doesn't have it. Once he gets it from you, he goes to the vault and the drawer of just that book comes out and he goes, number 83.
Yep, there we go.
Put this with the other one.
You hear the cryo seal go, and it all just back.
Retina scan has been accepted.
Right.
And
Goodness. But great show, guys. Thank you, Mark. That was fantastic. And thank you, Steve and Jim, for being here, guys. You know, it's always a pleasure.
That was so cool.
And thank you again to the audience that was here. Great show. And any of you who are watching this on the rewind, thank you very much. Star Trek is much beloved, and I knew Mark would kill it, and because he always kills it, not just with his collection, but with his knowledge and just with the stories that he shares. So thank you once again, Mark. And of course, as we like to end these things, gents, keep it casual.